it or you something, ain't no chit-chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your dish splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX. J-Way. I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless. I'm gone. Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck. Give me to the trends. See a lead, be the band.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Who Will Be King. I got a couple of my co-hosts in here today. I'll let them introduce themselves. Dave.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave Scalo, and I am the executive producer over at Vikings First and Skol, where we talk everything Minnesota Vikings, of course.
Hey.
What's up, everybody? If you're checking in from Minnesota, Detroit, or elsewhere, welcome to the show. I'm Pay. I represent the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel, where we cover everything Chicago with a hard lean to the Bears because it is football season. Guys, how you feeling?
I'm good. And yeah.
Everything's looking great in Minnesota.
Yeah, we'll definitely get there. And yeah, we're representing the black and blue division. So of course we're both excited. We're all excited because the pads are out. So that physicality that we all have grown to enjoy is upon us. Dave, I'll let you set it off. You said everything is looking good in Minnesota, but what's going on in camp your way?
Well, today is movie night at camp, and which means the guys were in shells yesterday. They're going to be fully padded up late this afternoon, and then they're going to put on a show for the fans, followed by they're going to watch movies in TCO Stadium together. It's a real family event sort of deal that the Vikings put on once a season, and it should be fun. But as for the Vikings themselves, everything seems to be cooking along. J.J. McCarthy had his probably worst day yesterday, and but you're going to have some bad days in camp, and that's okay as long as he learns from it, which he has. He's done spectacularly well all spring. But the defense, it is giving people fits. When you have Ryan Kelly turn around to the coach and go, "What am I seeing?" And Coach O'Connell goes, "I haven't a clue." That means our defense under Brian Flores is dreaming up stuff that is causing all sorts of problems. And 2 days ago at camp, in the red zone drills, J.J. McCarthy didn't have time to throw. He was under duress from the moment the ball was snapped. And it's like, oh, now we had two backup linemen in there at the time because Darisaw is still on the timeline to recover for hopefully the first week of the season. And Will Fries is also slowly ramping up. However, he made his presence known yesterday. He pancaked Jonathan Allen. Oh, God, I love to hear a guard or any offensive lineman pancaking a big dude on the defensive line. That just gets my juices flowing. It's absolutely wonderful. But everything's going grand. Justin Jefferson's out with a slight tightness in his hamstring, not contract related. And but he's out there participating, sort of like coaching, which I find interesting. But he's not, partaking in the drills. He'll eventually get in there. But everything has been going swimmingly so far, knock on wood. No major injuries to date.
And Pay, what you got going on in Chicago? Or Lake Forest, right? Lake Forest, Illinois.
Well, that's where the Bears hold their training camp, Lake Forest, for the Chicago Bears. Still for another 8 or so years, there are the Chicago Bears. But like Dave said, as they've entered the second week of training camp, the more physical phase has been introduced up there at Lake Forest. Full pads, live tackling. Ben Johnson did warn everybody, look out. you're going to hear a lot more pads. And over the last couple of days, you had Elijah Hicks, you had Tasheem Johnson, Andrew Billings, cracking people, popping pads. I love it. Dave said he gets his maple syrup gets flowing when he hears pancakes, when he sees pancakes.
You betcha.
Well, other than maple syrup, I got my whipped cream out when I get to hear the pads pop. It just gets me going there, Foster. So yeah, that's been the stakes right now. So a little bit that the Bears were in shells today because for CBA rules you can only have so many padded practice back to back, and only I think 15 or so
total, 12 or 15. It's very, very limited.
Yeah, shout out to unions. Shout out to unions. You don't have to work hard no more. Yeah, let's roll back some of those tough working days. But in any of all that, any of all the fun, we've seen some progress coming out of week one. This is what you want to see in training camp. You want to see the guys stacking good days on top of good days, learning from mistakes, as Dave did also point out. Caleb Williams he's stacking good day after good day. Saturday was his first great day of practice. Monday was another good day, and so was Tuesday. Wednesday was a shorter practice because the rain did catch everybody as we're coming out of those humid nationwide temps, and now the rain is coming in. So it was only a short practice day for the guys up there in Lake Forest, but the progress is being noticed by all from Caleb Williams. You're not seeing a lot of the pre-snap issues. Getting lined up correctly has dissipated for the most part. You got, as I said, you some of the mistakes that we saw with the install has been, I don't want to say eradicated because you're probably going to see more mistakes as time moves on too, but you're starting to see a more of a turn towards more being able to finish plays out instead of having to call it dead because there were so many pre-snap snafus. Some other stuff going on. Colson Loveland, first round draft pick. He showed back up to camp. He finally showed up to camp over the weekend, and he's looked great. His 3 practices have been amazing. And you can tell that he's got a very prominent role in the offense. From what everyone has seen, a lot of targets are going his way. He's getting a lot of passes in 11-on-11, 7-on-7. He looks pretty good. And he looks fully healthy from that shoulder injury because they're not telling everybody to play it safe around him. His shoulder is fine. He's out there popping with everybody else. Roma Duze, he looks like he's going to be the wide receiver 1. He looks like Caleb's favorite receiver. If you paid attention to him last season, he looked like Caleb's favorite receiver last year too. He got a lot of targets from Caleb, and as of right now, he's looking like he's ready to take a step in that dominant direction as well. You seeing DJ Moore, he's doing a lot of you seeing him line up all over the field, backfield, slot, wide, everywhere. Sort of playing the role that we envisioned for Luther Burden. Speaking of Luther Burden, he made his debut over the weekend as well. He was in team drills. He participated pretty much half speed during those drills, and he did a lot of work individually. He did catch a touchdown pass on day 7, which was today of camp. However, I did speak about the pre-snap issues with the team that had the national media buzzing. Luther Burden, he is still struggling with that. Even though he was present for a lot of the off-field stuff while he was recovering from his hamstring injury, it's a difference between, watching football and playing football. You got to get out there and, as we say on this channel, build up a lather. He's got to get out there, learn those alignments, and as Ben Johnson told him, stopping the offense. We gotta keep this thing moving. There's a lot to learn, there's a lot to get done, a lot to get installed rather. On the offensive line, the left tackle competition has been pretty much the focus. Ozzie Trapillo, 2nd round draft pick for the Bears. He's a lot of people calling him a Ben Johnson favorite. He's a guy. I think we talked that this competition is going to be a 3-headed thing. I think it's more so of a 2-man race now. As we saw last week, Ozzie was running with the ones when you're doing 7-on-7 and 11-on-11. But when you're doing game install, the walkthroughs, which isn't open to the media or the public, anything like that, but reports are Braxton Jones is out there for that. So you would assume that if everybody was healthy, if a game needed to be played tomorrow, Braxton would probably be the number one guy. You'd probably get the start over Ozzy. But Kyra Amagaji, he's probably a distant third. So we can just go ahead and say this is between the young guy, second-round draft pick of this last draft, and Braxton Jones. You could probably expect Braxton to probably be fully healthy in the next week or so. I would, if you ask me today, and obviously I'm talking today, if I was to assume who would be out there when the Bears do have their first preseason game and they do have that first what do you call that joint practice with the Miami Dolphins next week, I would assume Braxton Jones is ready for that. So that's just my assumption based on everything that I'm hearing. Other things that are going on with the Bears offense, it looks to be like there might be a running back competition as well, or maybe not even competition. Maybe that we're going to move away from it being 75% DeAndre Swift to more so of an actual committee. Carl Monangai, 7th-round draft pick. You might know him because he was a Big Ten guy, Foster. Carl Monangai, he's improved. He's impressing everyone out there. So he's forcing some hands that he might have a very, I don't want to say heavy role in the offense, but he's definitely won't be somebody who's just out there doing special teams work like Mr. Homer.
I'd like to give a shout out, not only Tim Lyons, who joins us weekly, but also Broski Bear, one of my guys.
Oh, it's one of your guys. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw where DJ Moore was kind of talking about the adjustment to dealing with Ben Johnson and how he's kind of reestablishing a different energy and culture, but also that learning his offense has been quote unquote uncomfortable, and he's had to learn to be uncomfortable. But would you be surprised or anticipate any like a slow start as they continue, as they start, learn the offense and just, learn the nuances of a Ben Johnson offense?
Would I anticipate that? Probably, just being a realist. If I was to go back into what the Lions looked like Ben Johnson's first year, well, not even Ben Johnson's first year, but that whole coaching staff's their first year, Dan Campbell. And then just when Ben Johnson took over as offensive coordinator, play caller, everything like that, it was a ramp up period. It took a while for everyone to get just the basics. And then as year 2 and year 3 came in, then you saw the evolution. Then you saw everybody take off like jet fuel. Even though you hear all about the coaching heart that's going on right there with the Chicago Bears this whole offseason, Ben Johnson getting on people's case about doing things the right way, being meticulous about lining up and doing the little things correctly. It isn't just learning the new stuff. You got to unlearn the bad stuff too. So taking both of those two things into consideration, it would not shock me. Let me not say I anticipate it. I would just say it would not shock me if there's some growing pains. There are some speed bumps along the way for the first month to 6 weeks of the season.
I did see a post this morning on how Ben Johnson instructed, once he got there, Caleb Williams to get in the playbook 30 to 40 minutes, up to an hour a day during the offseason. And if he couldn't afford time to do that, he was in the wrong business. And so I'm assuming the young Caleb Williams has gotten in the playbook, and it shows. Does it?
All reports say yes, Dave. All reports are saying that Caleb Williams and his team are going in that direction. But I think to that question, I think that goes back to the first day of training camp, in which Caleb did say that he's putting in a lot of work into that playbook. He's doing a lot of study. I forget the exact quote that he had, but it was along those lines that I think that Ben might be even parroting what Caleb said, not the other way around.
I think it's a good thing that he is. It'll make the competition a little bit better when we play you guys this week or coming up in the first week of the season. Only
anticipating. You said this week coming up.
Away.
Yeah, there's only one game this week, Dave. I don't know.
Yeah, there's one game. We'll get to that. But there's one game I care about first off, and that's week 1 against the Chicago Bears.
38 days away?
No, 40.
40. Yeah, 40.
Jimmy
Gale Sayers.
Klein Saucer, that's right.
I like Gale Sayers. No, that's not Gale Sayers, is it? Or was that Brian Piccolo? No, it's Gale Sayers.
That's Sayers, yeah.
Yeah. Another great Chicago back. You've got kind of history of them.
Before we get to the Lions,
just before this, and she says the battle for left tackle is basically a 3-way split, and they're getting roughly even snaps.
This is for who? This is for
the Bears.
For the Bears. Oh.
You're saying that Kyron, they're all getting even snaps. Kyron Amagaji is getting even snaps with Trapillo and.
Well, is it what? Jones is your presumed starter, right? The vet.
Right.
He is the presumed starter, but they're giving roughly equal snaps between Trapillo and Amagaji are getting those, even though one may start in one practice and then turn around and be on the threes for another string of practices because they're just so short-manned, or that they stick them on the threes to get the reps, but that they haven't decided. They're hoping to have it done by the Miami joint practice date, but it may run up all the way to the season. However, supposedly your new coach does not want it to go that far, but he says he will accept it if it has to. But he also said, I heard in a press conference that whoever it is will be ready for week 1 to get their asses waxed by Jonathan Grenard.
No, there will be no asses waxed. There will be no, unless you're picking up Christian Wilkins on your team. I don't think anything's going to get waxed. Not from the Bears, no. But I think you were asking to that point that I made that Kyron has taken a step back. Yes, Kyron's taking the majority of his snaps with the second team. They're giving a lot of first team snaps to Ozzie. As I said, Braxton is still, he's not cleared for any on-field work yet. But again, there's only one guy out there when they're doing installs. And in my opinion, whoever's out there doing installs and doing the walkthroughs, that's the fave. And as long as he's still doing that, whenever he's ready, until he shows that he's not better than Ozzie, because I don't think Kyron Amagaji is. I think he's out of the mix right now. But until Braxton can actually lose his job on the field, I think he's the number one.
Foster, right. How's your team doing this week?
My team, obviously we got an early start, so we were chomping at the bit to get into pads, and officially for the first time we got to do that on Friday, and it hasn't disappointed. As far as the notable players that are making some noise right now, Sam Laporta had a nice play. He actually had a nice spin move on Brian Branch, our star safety, and he had some words about just the adjustment and working with John Morton. And he said he's got the he's basically got the job of a mother of 8 in order to make sure everybody is fed, which can be very difficult with all the weapons, but he's well equipped, and it appears that he's going to continue the trend of a lot of big plays and gadget plays and stuff like that.
It's definitely more difficult to have everybody fed. I mean, they roll back snaps. So I mean, yeah, I feel the pain, and as a mother of 8, I feel that pain.
You said rollback snaps.
They Wick.
Oh man. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't
bridge
know
card. We call it the bridge card. But in addition to that, there seems to be a little bit more clarity as far as how the offensive line is going to work. Tate Rillich has been taking the majority of the right guard snaps, and Glass now is where he's most comfortable, and that's at the center position. Obviously, the injury to Miles Frazier kind of opened up a more clear lane for Glasgow to take over the center role because there's no longer competition at the right guard position. Jamison Williams still appears to be keen for another jump. He's looking fast as ever, and the route running is crisp. Kyle Allen, he seems to have a firm grasp on that second team position as far as quarterbacks are concerned. So although Hendon Hooker appears to be better, he's going to have to work for it because Kyle Allen looked pretty strong in the red zone workouts. Another big important thing that was that we saw was the return of some guys from injury. Obviously, we had the injury bug a lot of last year, and that has continued in the training camp. But Alex Anzalone, Ennis Rakestraw, Roy Lopez, and Muhammad have all returned to practice. And yeah, obviously, we talked about Anzalone and the fact that his hamstring might be, partially due to the contract issues and stuff like that. But he's now in the mode of what do you call the hold-in mode, where he's coming to camp. He's not fully suiting up, but he's no longer just completely obsolete and out of the way of the practice facility. So we'll take what we can get, but hopefully we'll see how things progress. Everything is pointing towards the defense being taken over by Jack Campbell, who was drafted a couple of years ago. So that may be the beginning of the transition away from Anzalone, who, as far as I know, is still considered the captain, but Jack Campbell is running the defense right now. But yeah, outside of that,
you sit out.
You said
you
what?
lose your spot. That happens when you sit out. You lose your spot.
Right. So I don't know what to make of all that. I don't think that it will get to a point to where he just completely, is away from the team. And we do have some guys that are able to step in. We went out and signed Zach Cunningham, who I'm hoping is going to get some reps in a preseason that we'll talk about. But he's a veteran middle linebacker. And he didn't play much last year with the Denver Broncos, but 2 years ago, he had about 80 tackles with the Philadelphia Eagles. So not too far removed from being a pretty heavy usage middle linebacker. But it'll be he's got big shoes to fill if he's got to step in and take the role of Alex Anzalone.
What's the timeline on Terry and Arnold?
So Terry Arnold, I believe, was injured his hamstring yesterday, and I feel like I think he's already come out and said that he's okay, but I can see the Lions taking their time with it, and they don't play a lot of starters in the preseason games anyway, so I don't think that we'll see him in the game tomorrow, but it just opens up an opportunity for I think probably our deepest core to get some more work while he's out. So I don't have a Let me see. I don't think there's any timeline as of now. I think he's in the day to day as far as injuries are concerned, but nothing serious.
He'll be ready.
As far as
in other words,
I think he'll be ready.
Right?
Yeah, but we can't go without talking about the Green Bay Packers. It seems like the hottest news is making sure that the professional quarterback has got the weapons he needs to to showcase his skill. And they said that Christian Watson looks faster than he's ever been. He's one of many WR2s that is what do you call that? Cosplaying as a WR1. But in addition to that, Matthew Golden, I guess, has been showcasing some skills as well. Bo Melton is actually moving off of wide receiver to cornerback. So that's another one of the hot things that are going on around camp as well. And Xavier McKinley, who is their new safety, has been flying around and making some noise. But have you guys heard of anything as far as the Packers are concerned?
Well, on the Melton to cornerback, I sent you guys a note saying Amon-Ra and J-Mo and Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson are going to feast on a brand new cornerback. But I'm hearing actually he's doing well, and they like what they see so far, which I think is pretty amazing. But it's happened before, just not recently. So we'll see how it goes. Now, they still have some folks out. Savion Williams is out short term with a concussion. So they've obviously been hitting, unless he hit his head on the wall or the ground. Datavion Wicks is also out. So all that room full of WR2s is getting thinner. Point out which one eventually becomes the wide receiver one. It's a good question, but we'll see.
Melton might need to go back to receiver when it's all said and done.
Maybe. Now, or play both ways. Iron Man football. There's as you see, we lost Pay. Pay had a commitment at quarter till. He had to roll on us. So from here, we've gone through, talked about the Packers, the Lions, the Bears, and of course, my beautiful Minnesota Vikings. Think it's time for a break there, Foster?
Yes, it is time for a break. We will be back.
Love the beat. Love the music. A little bit of funk.
So the Bears and the Bears, the Packers, and Vikings are still a little bit of a ways away from their first preseason game. It's only the Lions that have one in coming up, which actually tomorrow is the Hall of Fame game. So I definitely have some things that I'm looking forward to and seeing as the team actually fully gets padded up and plays a semi-relevant game. But I think the biggest thing of note to talk about is the trenches on both sides of the ball. We already know that Tyleik Williams and Tate Ratledge are not going to be active tomorrow, which is pretty prototypical for the Lions because we tend to sit a lot of our starters for whatever reason. And me and June always, or at least last year, we felt that the offense was a little bit behind schedule because they didn't get those reps in during actual live action. But yeah, we'll still get an opportunity to see a lot of our defensive linemen, such as Isaac Ukwu and Nate Lynn and
Isaac who?
Uku, UKWU.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sound
I
like
think
you
I'm
said
saying
woo
it.
woo, and I'm
No,
like, woo.
no, but yeah, and maybe there's a chance that we get to see Marcus Davenport. Like I said, wrap him up in bubble wrap and make sure he's ready for the regular season. But somebody's gonna have to suit up. But outside of that, Hendon Hooker, I definitely want to see Hendon Hooker, who seems to be in a serious fight for that second string role as far as quarterbacks is concerned. And so no Tate Ratledge, but outside of that, there should be plenty of offensive linemen getting some work in. We got June in the building said, "I will be back soon." We need you back, man. We need a viable host. But do you plan on checking out the Hall of Fame game?
Oh, heck yes. It's football, baby.
Right.
I'm going to be watching. It is, let's see, what was the time? Kickoff is 8:30 Eastern, I believe. What is it? Yeah. And it's on NBC. However you get your NBC, Peacock, however, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's on NBC. And I can't wait. I want to see Detroit, how they look. Are they, and granted, I know the starters aren't playing. It's especially for the Hall of Fame game. So I'm not getting real excited, but I'm looking at how's your new defensive coordinator look? How's your new offensive coordinator look? How's the communication from, the sideline? All that sort of stuff I'm going to be looking at. Those are things that in preseason games you want to focus on for your team. In my case, it's going to be for the Detroit Lions because they're in the division. Do I care about the Los Angeles Chargers? No, not really. I'm curious to watch Trey Lance get his first start in a long time, which should be interesting. But I'm going to be watching mainly for Detroit to see how everything works. I'm hoping for a regression. It's just me, Dave, personally, for obviously selfish reasons, but I want to see how it works. And I do hope it's a good game. And of course, it leads into Hall of Fame weekend, which should be very fun for those that attend, because the Vikings are having their own Jared Allen inducted on Saturday.
Okay. Wow. All right. And it's interesting you talk about Trey Lance getting the start. It actually has Taylor Heineke as the second string quarterback. So has it been confirmed that he will be getting the start?
I had seen Trey Lance getting the start, but hey, Heineke, I love
it's possible. Yeah,
Heineke. Anyways, he was one of ours, and until he kicked his screen door when he was back home and cut his ankle. That's a whole other story. But Heineke was, I thought, a decent backup quarterback. And he has proven throughout his time in the league to be just that. So it's going to be interesting.
And they drafted Joe Alt, who he's their starting right tackle, so I don't know if we'll get a chance to see him. But I didn't even realize that
rookies need the snaps.
I think Ratledge needs some snaps, but apparently they're gonna hold on to them for a little bit.
I know with our rookie left guard, Donovan Jackson, I know Kevin O'Connell does not like playing starters in the preseason, except for a select few, and they tend to be those rookie lineman types that they need to get the snaps. So we'll see.
And I also peeped that Najee Harris was signed by San Diego. That was something that I didn't even realize.
Hey, I can't wait. It's football. I'll crack a few beers or a new bottle of whiskey or something, and I'll be sitting down here in all my glory and probably chatting with you on Slack and having a good old time, and then waiting for your post-game show, right?
Yeah, trade deadline for baseball, post game for the Lions, and yeah, need some knee jerk reactions and some overreactions, of course. But,
Of course.
yeah, and
That's
then,
what preseason's for. That in week 1.
because we know that I think we all get hype over preseason football, but then we also come back to life and realize that it's mostly vanilla offenses, and you don't really get the true looks that you're going to get in the regular season, and it gets really sloppy. A lot of delayed games and holding calls once you get towards the end of those games. So,
what quarter do you start to lose interest? Is the question.
Yeah, I think anything after halftime or after the first first set of reps in the third quarter, you can pretty much cut the game off. But we're not gonna, but we wouldn't do that. Just
do that because hey, you might see some gem low on the roster that might fit on your roster. If you're watching Tim, that you could scarf up when it comes to cut day.
Right. And he actually Trey Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart are in camp. I didn't even that slipped right past me. Of course,
they are. Both of
them. So Stewart signed?
Yes. Stewart signed. He got all his guarantees from what I gather.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Tim. But Hendricks hasn't.
Yeah.
I think he's doing the hold-in thing.
Right. He's
in camp, so he doesn't get fined. He said, "I'm tired of being fined $50,000 a day."
Yeah, it's petty. It's petty money for them, but it's like it adds up.
$200,000 he's lost.
Right. Yeah.
That's a chunk of change.
Absolutely, and they don't want to give that money away. That's the whole reason why they're holding out. It's because they want it all. So.
Mm-hmm. So. Now, Yvette asked us about the New York news.
Oh, so I read into it a little bit. So this was somebody that actually made it to the NFL because he wasn't.
No, he was just a high school player from what I gather.
Okay, but
he blamed the NFL for CTE.
Right. So how did that connect? Were you able to put that together?
Well, it was. He I guess suspected that he has CTE. He had some mental issues reported and was and seen for. And he suspected it was CTE from playing football, specifically in high school, because he didn't go on to play in college nor did he make the NFL. But he wanted to blame the NFL for it, and he was looking to go up into NFL headquarters and take his revenge. He took the wrong elevator, got off at the wrong floor, but he did unfortunately kill quite a few people in the process, and it's a shame. Now, when he took his life, he shot himself in the chest. He had a note that said, "Please examine my brain for CTE."
Wow.
So, and hopefully they do. Let's see how it looks.
Yeah. Yeah. The correlation to the NFL, that's the part I guess that confused me was that what is it if he never set foot on them, but
that's because he played football.
Right.
CTE for football players is a big deal, and it's also a big deal for those that were in the military in the combat zone and experienced explosions and stuff like that.
Right.
Head injuries.
So yeah, very unfortunate.
It is. We hate to see any time life is lost.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
But I can't wait for tomorrow night, Thursday night. When
it should be a busy day altogether. From both sports that are going on right now in Detroit.
Well, how are, speaking of Detroit, both sports, how are the Red Wings doing?
The Red Wings, that is the one team that needs to get it together, which is insane because there was a period of time where we were on a crazy playoff streak. It was like 20 plus games, and I mean 20 plus years, 20 plus seasons of playoff verse. So I think we're almost up to 10 now, and yeah, who would have thought that we will be waiting for the Red Wings to make the playoffs? Meanwhile, the Lions are expected to every year. So,
well, you guys need to get some Red Wings rep on your channel.
We do. Do I have any? Oh, I do. I got a little Red Wings.
You got some behind you.
Memorabilia. It's actually signed memorabilia as well. So, but yeah, the Red Wings are the one team that are kind of holding us down right now. The Pistons have got their act together. Of course, the Lions and the Tigers. The Tigers are up about, I think 9. I think we're up 9.5 games in the Central Division. We had a little bit of a losing streak, and everybody started to panic a little bit. But we are getting things together. We just swept the Arizona Diamondbacks. So, but yeah, if anybody wants to tune into that, me and Coach do a show every Sunday recapping a week in Tigers baseball. So you can subscribe on Bleachers to Speakers. Any other news to report on the Minnesota Vikings? And other than that, where can they find you? What you got coming up?
Well, we've got coming up tomorrow night. We'll have Tyler Fornes on the Real Forno show. He's hopefully making camp tonight. And we hold our camps late in the afternoon, usually about 2:30. So they're running when we're doing this show. But he was at camp earlier in the week and we reported on Monday. And then hopefully he'll be there tonight and can report tomorrow night on it. And then Sunday, we're looking at Two Old Bloggers, which is Darren and I, where we give our old-time reporting, an in-depth sort of look at the news of the week, and we'll go over that and see what happened, whether it be J.J. McCarthy looked fantastic or he had a rough day because Jonathan Grenard and Jonathan Allen were in people's faces all morning or all afternoon sort of type deal. But it is that sort of deal. Defense always leads in training camp, so we'll see how it goes. But everything is going rather well. All our injuries are healing up. There's nothing major. I know people see Justin Jefferson's out with a hammy. Well, it's very light, and he's out. He could play if he had to play. It's not a big deal. And he's the way, like I said, he's showing up on camp. He's out on the field. He's helping coach, and he's being a full participant that way, just not running routes, which is sort of good because it's giving all the other wide receivers time to shine, which is a good deal. It helps, whittle out who are we looking at making the final 53. And those pictures are coming into focus, which is pretty cool. And
I think I saw something about Naylor. Is Naylor? I feel like he's got a little buzz going during camp. Have you heard anything about him?
Oh, Jalen Naylor's been doing well. He's got for right now, he's pretty much got the wide receiver 3 spot locked down. Okay. Now we do have the draft pick Ty Felton, who's also getting some hype. Those two are fighting for that wide receiver 3. I'm thinking Jalen Naylor's going to get it, and then Ty Felton will get wide receiver 4 spot. And then when it comes to 5 and 6, that's where the real battle's at. Because who's going to step up? Will it be Lucky Jackson or will it be whomever? Tristan Wirf, or like he did last year, or who is it? We got a new UDFA that's absolutely doing well as well. So it is, all that sort of stuff is coming into play. Our corners are coming in. It's all starting to come into focus. And it seems like it's coming into focus early, which I think is fantastic. And our defense absolutely looks dominant. Some of these guys are third year in the Brian Flores system, and it's going to be a nightmare for opposing teams.
All right. As we close out, what do they say in Minnesota?
Oh, that's simple. We say, Skol Vikings.
And And I need the alley. What do we say in Detroit?
Go Pride.
All right. We'll see you next week, guys.
Get your lick back. If a nugget owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop, let this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back.